So today I want to talk about some of the recent trends we've been hearing about in the market that I'd say have been really heating up over the past 6 months. And if you're new to the program here, Aldoa Edge, the point of this series is really to just have a platform to be able to speak to consultants, professional engineers, field technicians, project managers, and sort of business owners in this engineering space to speak to everyone openly about what we're collectively seeing in the market. And I can see from some folks in the audience, we have some customers on here, we have some vendors and some folks who we've been partnering with in the industry. A lot of us have been seeing a lot of the same trends pick up. And again, from my perspective, so for those of you who are new here, I'm Adam Lowenthal. I'm the CEO and founder of Aldoa, and we build modern software, the first platform that is purpose-built specifically for engineering businesses. And I spend most of my time speaking to businesses across the US, right? And this ranges from sole proprietors, small businesses, mid-size regional shops, enterprise, all of it. One of the big problems we've been hearing about that I'd say again has been picking up over the last 12 months, maybe 6 months, is on the supply side, really relating to how difficult it is to find good workers. Uh, and again, this really is a problem that is agnostic on what sort of spectrum you're on when it comes to small business, large enterprise, regional, et cetera. A lot of business owners are just really struggling to find skilled labor and people they can trust to get the job done. This is not just an engineering problem for what it's worth. We have connections in the construction world, in the architecture world, in a lot of these skilled trades, even going into, mechanical engineer, electrical plumbing, HVAC, et cetera. And it's really hard to find skilled labor. This problem has been getting worse over the past decade, but really accelerating over the past year, 2 years. And I think one of the really interesting opportunities that we see from this is how can we sort of supplement or replace that absence of labor with other tools to increase efficiency? And one of the big sort of, again, ideas that we're hearing from our customers, these engineering firms, consultants, is that they're starting to look towards software to be able to increase the efficiency of businesses and firms and employees so that every field tech is your best field tech. And when we talk about that, it's something where, you think about hiring that additional person and, a starting salary could be 60,000 for a project manager. It could be up in the six digits, et cetera. And if you can get that benefit from software, it starts to get you thinking about how the cost structure of your organization can change over time. So I'm trying to sort of point towards some light at the end of the tunnel, or at least a positive side of these labor shortages might be the emergence of these modern tools. And when we talk about software, right, if you've been paying attention to the Aldoa Edge over the past few weeks as we've kicked off this series, we've talked about a lot of different buckets of software. We've talked about the project management side, financial management, and sort of tracking your budgets and profitability of your projects. We've talked about the workflow side of things as well as it relates to field data collection and report writing. And we also sort of talk about the engagement side of software. So what I mean by that is on the CRM side of things, right? Effectively communicating with your customers and your clients, keeping them happy. On the bidding side of things with subcontractors. And rather than go into one of those specific buckets today, I do want to spend maybe 10, 15 minutes just talking about the rise of vertical AI. And I think what has once been a buzzword with AI is now becoming a reality in a lot of different industries across the US. And I talk to so many businesses, whether it's project managers or business owners who are starting to sort of mess around with AI is the informal way of saying it. And they'll download or sort of purchase an enterprise license to ChatGPT, for example, which I think is the most ubiquitous and most well-known service. And they're starting to mess around with ChatGPT of seeing, hey, can we actually use this to increase the efficiency of our business? And I think that right now, we're spending a lot of our time with a few slices of the engineering market, but I would say the environmental market has always been a bread and butter of ours. The geotechnical and construction materials testing market has been something we've been spending a lot of time with. And in these markets, we've started to hear of companies, again, using ChatGPT with no success. And if you were asking ChatGPT to write a report for a standard penetration test or write a remedial action report, it often just doesn't have the expertise to do that. It will even say sometimes, if you ask ChatGPT to, for example, write a phase one environmental site assessment or a property condition assessment, ChatGPT will literally respond to you like, I am not a certified professional engineer. I do not have the ability to do that. And obviously you can get ChatGPT to help out with some more boilerplate standard processes, right? Hey, write a paragraph about the site location and the historical description of the site given this information. ChatGPT can do that. But what we're starting to see across some other industries right now is, again, the rise of these models, these AI models that leverage very specific industry data that enables these models to produce reports that horizontal solutions like ChatGPT have no ability to produce. And we've been really excited about that here at Aldoa of just, thinking about the benefits that that could have for people in this industry. And obviously, when we're talking about AI and software in general, the real benefits are tied around sort of cost cutting, the ability to be more efficient, the ability to sort of take away that time you're spending on non-billable administrative time and put it towards something where you can get new revenue and new customers. We see it as a way to raise sort of the standards of even your lower, more inefficient employees to make them better. And we see a lot of this sort of happening around the collection of data in the field and using that data to generate technical reports back at the office. So again, we're seeing this trend emerge, and I can name a few examples, but I'll just call out some certain industries that are getting a lot of attention right now, right? You have the legal world, right? When you have lawyers who are drafting sort of resolutions and these standard reports, and you're having these large language models that are collecting data very specific to the work of a law firm, and you're training that data over time to be able to help you. And we are really excited about where that's leading in this engineering space. And again, I think it's sort of on every CEO's mind, every business owner's mind, that the rise of AI can fundamentally change the way that their cost structure of their business sort of stands on a day-to-day basis. When we take a step back and we think about this engineering services market, right? We look at census data, and this engineering services world, when it comes to environmental, civil, land development, surveying, geotechnical, CMT, there's around $500 billion of spend in the US every year, and about 40% labor margin, right? So you see about, let's call it $200 billion every year in the US is spent on skilled labor in this engineering services space. Meanwhile, the software spend in this space is about, let's call it $10 billion roughly. So we have an extra $190 billion that's being spent on actual labor. And given like the inability of these firms to hire, we have this belief here at Aldoa, we're talking to some business owners who feel the same way, that the sort of convergence between labor spend and software spend in the industry is starting to happen. And not only is it just this convergence, it's not one-to-one. So for every sort of $2 that you'd have to spend on skilled labor, we believe that the rise of verticalized AI can make it so that you're getting the same impact with $1 spent on software. So this has really, really powerful impacts and implications on the actual cost structure of these businesses, where you have a 40% labor margin, right? That could be trending down to 30%, 20% over time. And look, we're not saying that verticalized AI is going to replace your workers. That is not going to happen because we know that the work that engineers, consultants, scientists are doing is really important. It's critical thought, it's technical work. That is not where we see AI sort of jumping in. Where we see AI is on, again, these like boilerplate tasks. Like, let's collect data in the field, and let's use AI to automatically template and format the final document, right? You don't need to be dragging things along in Word and in PDF and putting your logo in the corner and adding an extra column to that chart. Uh, that is the superfluous work that verticalized AI solutions are really, really good at. And again, so here at Aldoa, we're starting to do this. We're starting to collect data on, again, some very specific use cases. So in the geotechnical world, concrete and aggregate sampling and testing, site characterization studies, standard penetration tests, gradation reports. And as we collect that data, and we also see how our customers are using that data to generate the final documents for their clients, we can start training our models to understand, okay, we're collecting this data. Where does this go on the page of that final deliverable? Exactly how should this be formatted? And we're really excited to see how that evolves over the next coming, let's say, 12 months. I don't think this is going to be a sort of a switch that is flipped overnight and automatically you have these, smart generation, but we are starting to collect this data and train models. And we're really excited about the potential this can have on not just sort of the cost structure of these businesses, but on the quality of life. We talk to so many engineers who, let's call it 2-3 hours of their day is repetitive, manual, tedious tasks of taking things that are handwritten and putting them on the computer, or designing documents, or just doing things that you did not get a degree in civil engineering to do. These more sort of administrative, burdensome tasks. So this is not just, again, a cost structure phenomenon. This is a quality of life increase that is happening in real time in this industry, and we are really excited about it. So stay tuned for more. I want to keep this brief, just sort of an introduction to the way that we're thinking about this rise of AI. And I guess the last piece I'll leave you with is, I think that there's this, I don't know, this belief in this industry that we share as well, that for the work you're doing of building our nation's infrastructure, protecting the inhabitants of our planet, making sure that these developments are not crumbling and falling apart. This work is really, really important. And we know that that's why all of you guys are sort of in this space in the first place. You got into this because this is important work. It is bizarre to me and to so many of our customers and the people we talk to, how little innovation is being sort of designed and how little money is being spent on innovation specifically for the engineering space. And I'm sure, we don't live under a rock. We have friends who are in construction. We have friends who are, general consultants. We have friends in the legal world. And we hear about all the innovation that they're seeing. And we at Aldoa are really, really excited and proud to be one of the companies who are actually working on innovating specifically for civil engineers, geotechnical engineers, materials testing companies, environmental consultants, surveyors, land development companies, and the folks who are really responsible for the built world here in the United States. If you are interested in having a conversation with us, sort of talking about where we're using AI, right? When it comes to collecting data in the field, generating technical reports, we can have a conversation sort of showing you the areas where AI is going to be implemented in our platform today. If you want to complain to us about areas that waste a lot of your time where you think AI could benefit, go to www.aldoa.com, schedule a demo, call us, have a conversation. We would love to just sort of understand your use cases show you what we're building today because we're really excited about what's coming out through the remainder of 2025.